and welcome to another edition of Mic'd Up, the Gold Coat edition for the Denison Area Chamber of Commerce. I'm Dave Hilton. I serve on the board of directors for the Denison Chamber of Commerce and also work for Katy Country, K-Lake, and Mad Rock Nation, the radio stations here in the area. So we do this so we can introduce you to some of our Gold Coat ambassadors and also some of the members of the Denison Area Chamber of Commerce. And I am thrilled to introduce you to my guests here today. We've got Tiffany Barney Herolds from the Denison Development Alliance, one of our Gold Coat ambassadors. Also Sarah Bergeron from the Denison Development Alliance. And our sponsor for this particular episode is the IV Social Club, and we're joined by Sierra Whittington. How are y'all doing?
Good.
Great.
Thank you.
Good. So we had a lot of opportunity, and I'm going to talk about the behind the scenes. So we were talking here with Sarah, and of course we want to thank Bubba Thompson for allowing the use of his studio. So the three of us were sitting in here talking, and the two of you thought that we were actually recording another podcast, so you didn't want to walk in here, and so we were waiting on you, and you were waiting on us,
Yes.
and finally we realized, hey, they're actually here in the other room, so welcome to the show here.
Yeah,
Thank you.
glad we
See,
could-
that's what
glad to be
happens.
here.
That's what happens before we get started. It's just chaotic mess, and then we try to make something fun out of this. So we're going to talk about the Denison Development Alliance. We're going to talk about the IV Social Club. The first question I have for you, though, is I just want you to kind of introduce yourselves and what you do for the Denison Development Alliance.
Sure. I'm Tiffany Barney Herolds, as you said, and I'm the Vice President of Business Development over there, and so I just help Tony Kai, as many know him around town, and we basically recruit business and industry here to Denison.
And you guys have been doing an amazing job, I
Oh,
must
well,
say.
thank you. Thanks.
Absolutely.
But, we have to give a nod to Tony because he's the one that's been here for 26 years
Right.
and has really helped develop the economic and, vitality and quality of life here in Denison.
What about you, Sarah? What do you do with the DDA?
So I've been with DDA for about 7 months now. So I'm
Okay.
the Vice President of Operations. So kind of make sure things run. I do reception, cleaning, write the checks, watch the budget,
Yeah.
keep my eyes on
Anything
Tony.
and everything
Yeah.
they ask you to do. That's
Pretty
what it
much
sounds like.
you say
Yeah.
jump and I say how high. You got it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about Sierra and her project, the IV Social Club, which before we actually started recording, I had to make sure, because I'm a complete nerd, I was like, I want to make sure it's the IV Social Club and not the For Social Club, because I
Yes,
never make
sir.
assumptions, but it looks like the Roman letter, number 4.
It does.
So, yeah. And you hadn't even thought about that until I
No.
said it. So, yeah, again, I'm a nerd. Nobody else is going to know that until I just said it. But talk about what you do at the IV Social Club.
Yeah, so we provide IV therapy and vitamin injections, and just for your overall wellness. So you can come in if you are dehydrated, if you want extra vitamins. You can do it before you get dehydrated or after. So yeah, we just provide IV therapy and vitamin injections.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Could have used you in my early 20s.
I think we all could have, yeah. Let's not go there, though. So let's talk about the DDA, though. I mean, your offices are literally just around the corner over here from where we are here in the studio.
Right. We're at 115 North Rusk Avenue.
Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, you're right in the middle of everything. You see all the constructions. You're
Right.
part of all of the events and everything that go on here in Denison. So
Yeah.
what's it like to be, I mean, so honed in, so, delving into everything that's going on in Denison? It must be overwhelming sometimes.
Sometimes it is, but it's actually really interesting, and it's a challenge. But as Tony Kai always says, every challenge presents an opportunity, and so we have a lot of opportunities here. And it's been a lot of fun, actually, to see the growth, even just in the 3 years I've been here, and to be able to recruit really high class and I think really neat and interesting destination restaurants and other industry and businesses here in Denison that have helped with the growth, and just to see the Preston Harbor project come about, and so it's really been fun, I have to say. Yeah, a lot of fun.
Talking about the DDA, is it always just those larger projects, or are they smaller things? Like you have a one show, one location shop. Can the DDA help with them?
Right. Yeah. So really, we're very unique in the fact that we have a 4A Economic Development Corporation, which can only really incentivize or recruit things like industry, business. Also, we can do some infrastructure projects, but we can't really incentivize retail on the 4A Development Corporation side.
Yeah.
but we have a unique structure in which we have a private foundation that we also manage, and that can incentivize retail. And so we have different grants and incentives that are available to these businesses where, we say, hey, are you unique? Then we can incentivize you to come. And so that's how we got like the Deviled Egg Company.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've incentivized other businesses on Main Street. We have grants for, fire suppression, for alley access, and also we have a great grant for, it's called the e-commerce grant, and that helps any business in Denison be able to become e-commerce capable. So yeah, we have a lot of incentives and grants that can help our businesses. And that's why we love to be involved in the chamber as ambassadors, because we can go and see these new businesses, and we can talk about the new grants and incentives that might be available to them. So that's what we enjoy as being ambassadors, is going to see these different businesses all over the city.
We'll talk about that more in a
Yeah.
minute. Let's talk about the Ivy Social Club. We've talked about the fact that DDA is here in downtown, but you're a little closer towards 75 down Morton Street.
Yes.
Where's your location?
So we're next to the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, inside Glow Med Spa.
Okay, but you are not the med spa, you're just inside it.
we're
We were talking about
inside.
that before we started recording. We
Yes.
wanted to specify that. So there are some of those things that you can do, and let's talk about some of those. You were talking about the different IV treatments and things you can do. Of course, you can help with a little dehydration from time to time, but you also have all these different options. So talk a little bit about those.
Yeah, so we have, obviously, we have a couple of IV therapy bags that we advertise. So recovery, beauty and health, metabolism, and then we also have an immune therapy option. But we also have the option where you can kind of make your own like cocktail and decide what vitamins go in the therapy as well.
And you also take, whenever you have customers come in, they will ask you for something. You'll be like, you know what, maybe we've had 5 or 6 people ask for that, so maybe we should start offering it.
Yes, absolutely. And so we're kind of since we are a startup and we're kind of getting to know what the community wants. If they ask for it and we don't offer it, that's something that we're taking into consideration for the future. And so we're going to be adding onto our menu as we grow.
Well, as our sponsor of this episode, I want to make sure you get a chance to talk about all your socials and your website so that people can find you.
Yes. So we're on Instagram, the Ivy Social Club, and then we're also on Facebook, Facebook-the Ivy Social Club.
Excellent. So let's talk about DDA for a second, and you being an ambassador. As you were talking about, it's nice to be an ambassador, but being a part of the DDA, you actually see some of these businesses from start to finish.
Yes.
Because you'll see them, they'll start asking you questions, the DDA, about how to come to town, what kind of incentives are available for us, and then as an ambassador, you get to go to the ribbon cuttings once
Right.
they're open, so it's almost like a start to finish kind of situation.
Correct. And we work hand in hand with Diana, and the chamber, because a lot of the businesses go to the chamber to ask questions, and figure out if Denison is a place that they want to be. And Diana
Yes.
and her team will send them over to us so that they can basically explore the incentives that might be available. So, for example, Juicy Lucy's that just opened up, he went to the chamber and then he came over to us to see what incentives were available. And so, we kind of work in hand in hand with the chamber to help out our small businesses. But yes, we do see them from start to finish. So it's actually very rewarding to see that. Yeah, just very rewarding.
So, Sarah, are you a Gold Coat ambassador as well?
Yes, I am.
Did she talk you into it?
I think it's part of the job,
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
but
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
very happy for it to be part of my job.
I was like,
Right.
Sarah, I have a shirt.
Yeah, I'm like, yay! So I have a nice little gold ribbon I get to wear. So I've had a lot of fun with it. So with my job, I'm kind of in my office a lot of the day. So when we have these ribbon cuttings, I enjoy getting out and getting to see the faces, getting to see these, people who've worked to bring their dreams to fruition, and just kind of be a cheerleader. There was one day they were wanting to hand out pom-poms, which I was like, what do I tell a business when I show up with a pom-pom? But it was just, people were really delighted just to have a friendly face come by and say, like, we support you, we're excited you're part of the chamber, and so it's been fun.
So in the last 7 months, you said you've been working at the
Yeah.
DDA for 7 months. What has been the standout moment of being a part of the ambassador group, of you participating? What would you say?
Ooh.
Obviously the pom-poms.
The pom-poms were it. I was never
Yeah.
a cheerleader in high school, so I'm making up for lost time. I was in the band, so very cool. I don't know. I guess just getting to meet people and network. It's something I really enjoy. My career prior to coming on to the DDA, I worked with for my family. My family owns Denison Chiropractic Clinic,
Yeah.
and I was there for 11 years. And, I was getting to meet people and talk to people all day and build relationships. And so I like that transition of being able to do that in general. And they have, fun events. We just had a bowling event a couple of weeks ago. And so that's a great way to get to know people and show them how awkward you are at sports. So they keep a full schedule. I'm always just excited to see what opportunities they have for us to get engaged and do
So you
some
said
fun
you were in the
things.
band, right?
I was in the band, man.
Yeah.
Hardcore band nerd.
And what did you play?
I was clarinet.
Well, see, you could have brought the clarinet to the bowling bash and just
I
played.
don't know. I don't know if I would have been thanked for that at this point. Once I was a skilled musician, but that's not one you really pick up and play at parties. So
Yeah.
that's part of my dormant past. I still have a passion for music, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to subject that onto anybody else. Me playing it.
Yes.
So, Tiffany, what about you? I mean, how long have you actually been an ambassador?
For 3 years.
Oh, so
yeah,
for the whole time?
it
Okay.
was the same
Yeah.
thing. I
Yeah.
came on to DDA, and
Oh, by the way.
and my
Yeah.
you
Here
have
you
a
go.
shirt. Yep. And so I just kind of became an ambassador by default, I guess. Yeah. But just a fun fact about Sarah is she plays our classical music around the office.
Oh,
So,
I do. Yeah, every time
And
someone
I
walks
enjoy
in,
it.
they're like, I'm like, yes, it's Bach today. Thank
yeah.
you very much.
So we enjoy it. We enjoy it.
So, what kind of
Yeah.
music do you play at the Ivy Social Club?
Yeah.
Top hits.
Okay. I was just curious. Like, do you play classical music to calm people down? Do you play whatever? Do people bring their own playlist? How does that work?
We're a luxury
Yeah.
Ivy spa, so we
Yeah.
play kind of just anything that's highly rated at the time. Just top hits. Yeah.
I have a question for you. So, does a physician or a nurse have to oversee what you do?
Absolutely.
Oh,
So we
okay.
have a medical director
Okay.
on staff, and then the nurses are the ones that provide the IV therapy.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
So, you've been open since January, you said?
January 1st.
All
yes,
right.
sir.
So, what has your experience been having the business here in Denison, that particular one? Because I know you have other projects.
I love Denison.
Yeah.
It's been really great. I live in Denison, and I graduated from Denison, so my heart is here. And so that's kind of why I wanted to be in Denison. Just try something new. And I've always opened my businesses in Sherman, so it was time.
Welcome back
For you,
home.
yes.
It was time. Yeah.
Right? So, have you ever thought about being an ambassador yourself?
No,
the
but
chamber.
I would be open.
They're always recruiting, so I'm sure they'd
Yeah.
love to talk to you about that.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I would
So
love to
we didn't
talk
give you a
about it.
chance to actually say anything about how people can find out more about the DDA. So I wanted to give you a chance to talk about the website and some of the information that may be available online for people.
Sure, yeah. So our website is denisontx.org, and there you can find all of our grants and incentives, so the ones that I mentioned, and also how they apply to you or your business, and if you qualify, of course. And it also provides community facts as well as just a lot of demographics, because that's what, when people or companies are coming to look at Denison, they want to know the population, the workforce, and also available properties that we have. So you can see that on our website as well. So it's kind of like, just if you need information or facts about Denison, you can go to denisontx.org. Yeah.
Excellent.
And if you need to get in contact with, excuse me, Sarah or I, it's just, excuse me, T. Barney at denisontx.org or S. Bergeron at denisontx.org.
Now, obviously, when we do these podcast episodes for Mic'd Up, is we want to get to know, what you do and why you do it and that stuff. But we also want to get to know more about you. That's why I was asking you questions about the clarinet and some of the things that you've done. Did you play sports at Denison High School? What did you do? What was your
No
thing?
sports.
What was your thing?
I loved history. I loved school.
Yeah.
I didn't have any extracurricular.
So no
just-
band or anything like that?
Nope.
Okay. Not
Just
yearbook
school.
or, yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, okay, all right. But I do these hot seat questions just to kind of get an idea of, and again, there's no right or wrong answer to these. They're just goofy questions, and we just want to see how you would answer them. And Sarah, I'm going to start with you. Because I know your
That was eye
family.
contact.
Because I know your family, and so, anyway. So what is your favorite season and why?
So I love the fall. I like it cold, dark, I don't know what's wrong with me. If it's raining and dreary, I just shine from within. But yeah, I've never been, born and raised in Texas. I'm a local Denisonian too, but I've just never been an outside heat lake. I'm like, that's the antithesis of what I normally do. So yeah, I like it dark and dreary.
So what about you? What is the best vacation you've ever taken?
Oh, goodness. Oh, I have to say, the trip that I took with my daughter, it was her graduation present.
Yeah.
But it was really
For you?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly what
There
happened.
you go, parents.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so we actually went to the Middle East. So we went to Egypt and Jordan and
Yeah.
Jerusalem and Turkey, and
Like a bucket list trip right
oh
there.
yeah. So
that's
it was
amazing.
wonderful. I saw the pyramids. I saw the treasury in Amman, and so everything to see in Jerusalem and Turkey. I saw the Hagia Sophia. I mean, just it was a dream trip, and the food was excellent. Like I was really worried about that, because I just didn't want to be sick, and I've heard horror stories about that. And it was actually some of the best food I've ever had on a trip. So yeah, highly recommend.
All right, Sarah,
Yes.
you ready for your? I know you were nervous about this when we were talking
Yeah.
about it originally. All right, so what is a good smell that most people love, but you don't like?
Oh, probably pumpkin.
Oh,
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So you're not with the fall here.
Yeah.
We're gonna cause some friction here.
I like the fall, but I don't like
Yeah.
the pumpkin smell.
All the pumpkin
It's too
spice,
much.
everything.
Yeah, it's too
all
much.
too
I'm
much?
not
Yeah.
either.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
It's too much. It's everywhere.
Right.
that's
So
interesting.
let's talk about you being in here in Denison, and you graduated from Denison. What did you do before you opened up the Ivy Social Club?
I own autism centers in Grayson County and in a couple other states as well.
And what got you into that?
I was a military spouse, and I lived in Hawaii for 5 years, and I worked with autistic children overseas, and so I fell in love, and I wanted to help children with autism.
Awesome.
So, Sarah, other than working at the DDA and your family's business, obviously, the chiropractic, did you do anything else before that, or did you immediately get out of school, immediately start working with your family?
No. So I went off to college.
Yeah.
I dabbled in, first was music, and then I realized, am I really good enough to play this for a living? Do I have the patience to teach it?
We should
And then
have
I
had you
got
brought your clarinet. so
Yeah,
we
I know.
could
I got
test that theory.
into I got into music theory, which was a lot of math, which I wasn't expecting. So the one God-given talent he gave me, he kept this one out. So I was like, this isn't going to be a lifelong match. Ended up getting my degree in fashion merchandising and business. So I had to do an internship with that. So I went in with the company Nordstrom, did my internship there, and they asked me to stay on. And so I had done years of retail already, but customer service, I was customer service manager at the very end, but I liked that quick, fast-paced, merchandising. I love the fashion. It was just a lot of fun, but I got burnout essentially. Eventually, you work your way up that corporate ladder, and it's just my boss caught me on a day, and he's like, "Are you happy?" And I was like, "Well, now you mention it, not really." So it's like I had to kind of reevaluate my life, what I wanted to do, and since my family was here, and I've got my family's very close. Mom and Dad were like, "Come back, you can live with us for a while." So I did. I left. I came back, moved back in with my parents, and there wasn't a spot at the clinic right away, but eventually something opened up, and before you knew it, 10 years goes by, and leaving there was a really hard decision, but, I wanted to be loyal to the family, but it's like, girl, you're about halfway done with this ride. What do you want to do for the rest of it? And so I had been on the Denison Developmental Foundation board and gotten to know Tony and Tiffany and kind of put out some feelers that I was looking for something. It was an amicable leave. It was a decision, not like I was like, I'm bouncing out or anything. But they said they were looking. There was someone that was going to be leaving, and I had about 30 minutes to turn around to try to read through the resume and be like, I don't know if I can do this, but hey, they know me. They still want to talk to me. So all I can do is go in and offer who I am and, be willing to learn what I can to be able to do it. And so it's been 7 months now, and it's been a lot of fun. Definitely completely different than anything I've ever done. If you go from, retail to holistic healthcare to economic development. So I'm definitely broadening my resume.
So, Tiffany, you said you've been with the DDA for about 3 years.
Right.
So what did you do before that?
Well, I am an attorney, so yeah, I was practicing for almost 2 decades in Las Vegas. So, but before that, I mean, I was a pre-med.
Sure, you have some stories there. Yeah.
So actually, my
We'll talk off
background
camera,
is
I bet.
is in medicine. So, but I don't know. It's just kind of your life circumstances kind of take you in a direction, and so I went to law school instead. And so that I was a lawyer for almost 2 decades, and then I needed a change, kind of like her. I just was like burnt out of going to court and arguing and conflict, and I know that's part of life, but it was daily a part of my life. And so it was one of those things where I just needed a change. I had family out here, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to move to Denison. And of course, my sister and brother-in-law told me I needed to talk to Tony Kai because he's the guy, that everyone talks to be able to find a job or see where you are needed.
Yeah.
And so I did, and he's the one that said, hey, you want to come work for the DDA? And I was like, and this is probably something you should never do. I said, what do you do? Like, what is economic development? And that's probably not.
That's how I felt.
Yeah, that's not what you say to the person that is hiring you in economic development. But he took me on, and so it's been interesting because I've kind of shifted into in-house counsel for these 2 nonprofit organizations. So, I draft contracts, renew their leases, plus do anything or everything else that I'm requested to do. So it's been nice because it's not highly, I mean, there's some conflict, but it's not like I can go home at night and not have to worry about a case, so it's just been nice to leave things at work and kind of have that separation again. And I feel like I can have a life, and I do.
And
I
still get
do.
to use the skills that you earned. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So it's been great, and it's been great to be a part of the Denison Development Alliance, just because I get to see, you're in a position where you can see everything that works within the city, including the relationship that you have with the Denison Chamber of Commerce, with the city of Denison, and all of these other businesses. So it's been really neat to meet all of these different people, and I actually really enjoy it. So I didn't realize that I really like seeing everything that comes together and the people that work together, and truly in Denison there's a team Denison, that they make it work.
Excellent. Well, again, we appreciate all 3 of you spending some time with us here so we can get to know you a little bit better. So when people see you out and about in the community, they know who you are and what you do. But I still have more hot seat questions because I like these questions. But before that, I know, Sierra, you actually had some of your team here today.
Yes.
But they're outside. We closed the door on them. They are just watching right now. So I wanted to give you an opportunity to give them a shout out because they actually came by here to support you while you're on the podcast.
So Chelsea Kent, she's the operations manager. She's a medical assistant, so she does the IM injections. And then we had nurse Isis Patty was here, and she does our IV therapy.
Excellent. So I'm going to start with you with a hot seat question this time. If you could eliminate one thing from your daily routine, what would it be?
Oh, meetings. Meetings.
Meetings in general. I thought maybe because before we got on camera, you were talking about how you recently moved and now you're just about 10 minutes away from work as opposed to 38 minutes. And I thought maybe you'd bring up the fact that I eliminated more than twice as
I'm
much
just
of a
happy
commute
I'm
that I had.
closer.
Yeah,
You'll never
right.
hear me complain about the commute now. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. I'm going to go with you now, Tiffany.
Same question.
All right. Something
Oh,
different.
okay.
What is because I think this will be, I'm curious, other than conflict, what is your biggest pet peeve?
Traffic and waiting in lines.
And you choose to live in Denison, Grayson County in construction? Really?
Oh, honey, I came from Las Vegas, so
Oh, yeah,
I was born
you're-
and raised in
yeah,
Las
you're used
Vegas.
to it.
So traffic, so my commute went from 40 minutes to like 10, and I love it.
I know, isn't it amazing?
It is. It's amazing. I like have a whole hour of my life back every day. So yeah, those are my pet peeves.
All right. So
Yeah.
don't get behind you in traffic then.
Yeah, or a big old line at an amusement park and stuff. I just hate waiting like that. I mean, yeah, that's just a pet peeve of mine.
So I thought this would be fitting for you, Sarah. If you could master any instrument that you don't already how to play, what would it be?
It would be the violin, hands down. We didn't have strings at our school. We had woodwinds, and
Yeah.
nothing speaks to me like the violin or the cello. It's just so sorrowful and deep, and I just love it. It speaks to my soul.
All right, Tiffany, back to you one more.
Yeah.
What skill do you wish you had, but you don't right now?
You know, speaking of instruments, so I'm a pianist, and I love, and I've always played the piano since I was 7, and play the organ too for my church. But I really would love to play the harp. So,
Okay.
and that's been like a dream of mine ever since, maybe like 15 years. But someone kind of took away that dream when they said, when you get a harp, you have to get the vehicle to go with it if you're ever going to play it, And so, and my vehicle is a little sedan, and you need like
You have to
a
have a
SUV.
dually, yeah, or something, yeah.
Yeah,
Just to carry
so
this thing.
it would be, I guess, something I could still do it, obviously, but I wouldn't be able to take it on the road or, play it for other people if I didn't have the vehicle. So, but that's something I really wish I could learn. And I could, just I don't have the vehicle,
Or the harp.
Or the
Yeah, or the harp,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
kind of a
So,
necessity there, yeah.
yeah, and
So, Sarah, one more for you. I've got, what is a skill that you wish you had?
I wish I was artistic.
Okay, in what way? Like painting?
Painting,
sculpting?
music, anything artistic.
Anything like that.
I always think about that, yeah.
I feel like I'm not very artistic
not.
myself. People tell me I am more than I think, but I've always been envious of people who can express themselves
Yeah.
in
Yes,
certain
like-
ways.
When I love paintings, and so when I look at them, I'm like, oh, I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
I could do modern art.
Okay.
Which
Yeah.
you stick a piece
Which
of
is-
gum
yeah,
to a
yeah.
piece of paper and then
Or a
call it an
banana.
art.
Yeah,
That's
put
art
a
now.
banana and stick it on the wall. Yeah. Yeah.
Sarah, what's your favorite movie of all time?
Oh gosh. Okay. That's a hard one.
Ah.
So my default I want to say Harry Potter because I'm a huge nerd
Which
with Harry
one?
Potter. Oh no, the first one. It's
Okay,
lighthearted. We don't get dark yet, but
Yeah.
actually probably my favorite movie of all time might be Singing in the Rain. So I am an old soul. So anything from the 30s and 40s.
Yeah.
I watch Turner Classic Movies every day. In fact, I recently introduced my nephews to Singing in the Rain. It's if you haven't seen it, which most people under the age of 60 have not. It's slapstick comedy. It's witty. It'll make you laugh. It's in color, and so they got sucked in. So I was like, awesome. And then the next time I kept them, I tried a black and white. Katharine Hepburn and Cary Grant are my favorite people ever, and they love that too. So that's probably my favorite.
All right, last question. That's for you, Tiffany. What is your guilty pleasure TV show?
Oh, goodness. That's a hard one.
Like I said, no right or wrong answer.
So, I mean, I would just say the one we just finished watching right now is Jack Ryan. I like action. I also like fantasy. So, there was a fantasy one we saw as well. I don't want to. It was not the Wheel of Time. I can't remember what. But it was. It was the Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay.
Fantasy one that. Yeah.
On Amazon, yeah.
So so that one also. So I'm a big action fantasy type
Okay.
person. Yeah.
Good to know. See,
Nothing
this
to
is
feel guilty about with that.
Yeah.
Mine's like 90 Day Fiance.
Oh really?
Wife swap.
I have to
It's the
say,
worst.
Love Island or like one of those, yeah.
So I have to say, and I just actually confessed this to my hubby the other day.
Yeah.
I am a sucker for dance movies. Like I love dance movies, like Step Up, and
Yeah.
I know, like I love to see the battle, the dance battle.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Didn't expect that.
Yeah, so that's my.
See, even you're learning something.
I
You
know.
work with
I
it.
know. This is
And
great.
so yeah, I watch those by myself.
Yeah, that would be a true guilty pleasure movie.
Yes,
Absolutely. Well, again, I want to thank all of you for being here today. I want to give you an opportunity again, Sierra, to promote the IV Social Club here in Denison on Morton Street.
Yeah, so you can book on our website at theivsocialclub.com.
Excellent. And again, we want to give you a chance to talk about the DDA as well. People can find information. Either one of you.
No, you go ahead. I'm still like I don't know what to do with my hands, and I'm still learning about economic development. So
Yeah, right.
I'm not the one to ask. She's
Yeah.
the source of information.
I
I'll
mean,
let her answer
yeah.
that.
So if you just search Denison Development Alliance, we're usually the first one that comes up on your Google search. But again, it's DenisonTX.org, and there you can find out about any grants and incentives that might apply to your business.
Well, again, we want to thank Bubba Thompson as well for allowing us the use of his studio for this edition of Mic'd Up, the Gold Coat edition. We want to encourage all of the members of the Denison Chamber of Commerce, whether you're an ambassador or not, to get more people involved as being an ambassador, because in my opinion, you can never have too many. So make sure you do that. Of course, you can go to the Denison Chamber website for more information about that. And again, we want to thank the Ivy Social Club, Sierra Whittington, for being here and for sponsoring this particular episode of this. Also, Gold Coat Ambassador Tiffany Barney Harolds from the Denison Development Alliance, the Gold Coat Ambassador Sarah Bergeron from the Denison Development Alliance as well. And again, I'm Dave Hilton with K-Lake, Katy Country, and Mad Rock. And thanks for watching this episode of Mic'd Up, the Gold Coat edition for the Denison Area Chamber of Commerce.